Welcome. You're listening to
Off the page.
안녕 미셸.
Hi, Sewon. You know that I come from swimming lessons on Thursdays, and I kind of have 현타 when I'm looking at when I'm looking at the screen with your on the Google Meet with Sewon, you, because
Why?
I look kind of swollen after swimming lessons.
No, you don't. Swollen meaning 부어?
부어. And I actually once asked my ChatGPT that why do I look swollen after swimming lessons, and it told me that after intense exercises like swimming, our 모세혈관 gets 그 팽창한대요. So, and that's why people look swollen even after the exercising.
Do I look 부어 to you too? Because I just got back from yoga.
A little bit? 근데 그게 it means that you've had enough amount of exercising maybe, but still when I'm looking in the screen I kind of ooh, I was looking much better at the office in the afternoon.
That's interesting because I always think I look a lot better after yoga because all the blood circulation and 혈액순환 everything, right? So I don't necessarily think I look 부어. If anything, I look more kind of sharp after yoga, I think. That's what I've always thought. I don't think I look good when
At
we're
the office?
No.
I don't think that you look swollen at all.
Your skin is glowing. Every time.
After swimming.
Yeah, you can. Every time you come back from swimming. So, I don't necessarily think you look 부어. Maybe it's the direction of our cameras, It's facing upwards.
네, 세원이 부어 보인다고 생각했는데 아닌 듯.
No, I just look the same, I think. Same old. 맨날 똑같은 얼굴.
But I think your skin has been glowing since you've been on the certain diet.
Yeah, it helped a lot. Yeah, speaking of my exercise and my diet and everything, I've been on a diet for about 4 months now, and it's ongoing. I think I lost 9 kilos in total as of today, I think. And what's really interesting, well, I'm not gonna talk about how I how it is to lose weight and everything, but then what I wanted to mention is that we actually talked about this afternoon about your swimming mates kind of try to talk to you and ask the tactics or your strategy or your tips on how to do such a you being a 저병 천재, right?
No, I'm not being a genius of butterfly or something.
And what's really interesting is that they actually at least try to talk to you. But then what's happening in yoga, maybe it's the atmosphere or the vibe of the yoga one, but then they kind of think it's a courtesy not to talk to each other. So it's very awkward that you by now you kind of recognize all the faces, right? Because you tend to attend the same session every day. So we all recognize our faces and we know each other, but then we don't say hi, or we don't even do the neck nod. Actually, 이렇게도 안 해요. 이런 고개 인사도 안 하거든요.
That's interesting.
But it's the vibe is not necessarily cold or strict, but it's very peaceful and people are very generous. At least in the yoga studio, they just don't 인사 to one another. And one day, I tried to 뭐라 그래, 반납해, return my key, my locker key to the instructor. And she actually told me, usually she doesn't really try to make a small chat with me as well. And this time she was like, 회원님 살 많이 빠지셨죠? She said that. So I was like, 아, 네, 맞아요. 한 7kg 정도 빠진 것 같아요. And like, 대단하시다. All that, you know, the conversation went on. And she was like, I actually didn't recognize you, that you lost that much weight. But then the 회원님, who's always attending the class, the same class, she actually mentioned me. 저 뒤에 있으신 분, 얼굴이 반쪽이 되신 것 같아요. 라고 얘기를 했다는 거예요. And I was like, you know, I know her and she knows me. And then like, why wouldn't you like
just come up and talk to you?
Yeah. But like, you know, there are nice ways to, you know, start off a conversation. Like start a conversation by just a, you know, small neck nod, just to let you know that I recognize you and you recognize me. So and you could, you know, start up a conversation. Maybe she thinks it's not a polite thing to mention about 외모 or about, you know,
maybe,
다이어트.
But she mentioned it to the instructor, so.
그래서 선생님이 저한테 앞에 계신 회원님이 회원님 얼굴이 반쪽이 되셨대요. 뭐 이렇게 하는 거예요. 그래서 I was like, 네, 7kg 정도 빠졌어요. And like, 대단하시다. And your yoga posture is getting better, and you know, everything's going well with you. And I was like, 감사합니다. And I just ran away.
I mean, that would feel a little bit like awkward to react.
I know, because, you know, 알아본다는 거잖아요. Like people actually like look at one another, which is obvious, and then why wouldn't you just start up a conversation? I don't know. So I was very surprising to hear that your swimming mates actually, you know, approach you and try to talk to you, because we don't here in yoga studio.
I've been always thinking that people on our certain lane, like 그 같은 레인 분들이, except one classmate, like, and she's like in her 40s, I think, and she is very, you know, really good at approaching others and, you know, having small chats with any other people at the class. But except for her, I think all of my classmates, including me, are MBTI type. Like the first letter of MBTI type is I think.
대문자 I.
Yeah. And so like we basically talk to each other only regarding swimming skills or swimming strokes or like your swimming suit or something like that.
But isn't it better that way? Just talking about swimming? It's like pure small talk. You don't get to talk about your private things, which is good, isn't it?
But I was a little bit surprised today because I knew that I've been knowing that our, you know, the lane next to us, they are 단계가 낮아요. 그러니까 lower level than us. And I know that 2 or 3 people in that lane, they are very extroverted people, and they, you know, talk to everyone on the same lane. And I've seen them talking today that someone bought a new swimsuit and it was from Arena or something, Arena 수영복. And I'm not very much aware of that, but like it seems like that certain swimsuit is very, you know, famous and very popular among male swimmers, I think. And male students were joking to each other, like, if you lost your new swimsuit, maybe I've been, you know, stealing that from you or something. And they looked kind of very familiar to each other.
Maybe they're friends.
I don't think so, because like all of their age groups are different. 아저씨도 있고 어린 학생도 있고 and like someone from like graduate school or something. And I was a little bit like, wow, classmates on my lane, they are still very, you know, shy to each other. Like, and we are, you know, unable to throw those kind of jokes to each other. And to be honest, I was a little bit like jealous of them.
Which means that you are the one who prefers to have conversations with others. It depends.
No,
right?
I don't think
depends
so.
on the situation.
Because we've been, you know, seeing each other twice a week, like for about like over a year, I think. And we are still very polite to each other and even don't know each other's name. And I felt like it is a little bit strange.
I actually have a question. Though the lady who starts up a conversation in your level, in your class, can you guess like how old she is?
I think she is maybe in her early 40s or to like mid 40s, I think. Why?
No, I just don't. I think when you become like when you're in the late 30s and like and when you enter like the age of 40s, I think, I don't know if this is an age thing or a hormone thing, but then I think it's a lot easier to the so-called 오지랖부려 kind of.
I get it, and actually it is a surprise that I've seen them on Twitter recently that people coined the term 준마력, 그러니까 아줌마 플러스력, like it is like like ability of 아줌마 or something like that, and in a positive way, and things just like you mentioned, like 아줌mas are much more, you know, comfortable with like talking to total strangers and, you know, 오지랖 부려 and like compliment others or throwing jokes at them. And I think she really softens the like mood of our class, I think.
Yeah. 안녕.
Hi, 인자. Say hi to
또 왔네.
Come on.
같이 말할까? 인자야. Yeah. Just let him be.
He's been following me, like, even though we got into a like huge fight a few days ago.
But you're friends again. You guys are friends again, right?
We are friends again now.
Yeah, like maybe we should cut this out. But then, I just turned 37 this year. I just turned 37 in April. And I assume that you just turned 30 this year, right?
Yeah, I did.
So like, I think this is something that makes the difference. You have that kind of 부끄러움, the shyness in you, whereas like I'm in the phase where I go towards, you know, it's a lot easier for me to say, 안녕하세요.
But like, it's always really funny to like see that certain lady have a conversation with a certain male student in our class. Because he is so shy. And I feel like I've never heard his voice actually, because he doesn't talk to anyone in the class. But like this lady never gives up. Like she always jokes at him.
Does he give off a vibe of something like, you know, 아줌마 제발 말 걸지 마세요?
No,
vibe?
I don't think so, because I think he is just, you know, too confused to talk to any woman, I think.
Okay. And I assume he's in his early 20s, maybe?
Early to mid 20s, I think.
어리구나.
Yeah.
You turned 30 as in like international age-wise, right? Oh, yeah. Is this 그 윤석열 thing still on? Do you think it's still like around?
I have a thing to say, because I cannot sense that, because like since my childhood, my dad preferred the 만나이, international age, all the time. So like, and you know that I'm like in Korea, I'm so-called 빠른 년생. That means that like I was born in January or February, and so my Korean age would be always like, 그러니까 2살 더 많잖아요.
맞아.
Than international age. But still, my dad like kept on, you know, calling me, like he kept on thinking like I'm like in that age of certain international age. So, and I kind of internally accepted that. I don't know whether, like, I cannot be sure whether Korean peoples are now comfortable with 윤석열 나이, 만나이, something like that. But still, wouldn't that be kind of like at least very familiar with Korean people? Because when you go to a hospital or like go to a pharmacy, you can actually see your age. We always see our age in the international age. So
I was surprised how some Koreans are very happy about it because they get to, 깎아 their age.
Yeah.
But to be honest, if
Uh-huh.
윤석열 나이 was applied like 10 years ago,
Uh-huh.
for example, it would have been a lot comfortable for me to present myself with
Uh-huh.
my international age.
Uh-huh.
But then the thing is, I'm in my mid to late 30s when it applied.
Uh-huh.
I just don't want to give an impression to others that I'm trying too hard, if you know what I mean. Like, to girls, to ladies, like age is such an important thing, and people, ladies, girls think too much about their age, and therefore, if I introduce myself with my international age, people might think that 저 여자 나이 젊어 보이고 싶어서 저렇게 말하나 보다. That's like the last thing that I want to do. Like I don't care. So like even during the 윤석열 age thing was going around, like I just whenever I happen to reveal my age, I just use my Korean age, 한국 나이.
You use 한국 나이.
I never used 만 나이.
That applies to me as well. So I just chose to tell the people that the actual year that I was born.
근데 그럼 못 알아듣잖아요.
But
don't get
like, they would just get it, and they might just calculate for themselves as well.
You know what's really funny about adults in Korea? Like 어른들, the real 어른들, adults. They don't get our age when we tell it by the year we were born. Like for example, I was 1989년생이에요, and they never get it. But then if I told them my age with the D-wise, the belt, animal belt wise, they get it. They instantly get it. 뱀띠생이에요. 그렇게 하면은 바로 알아들어요. 진짜 신기하지 않아요?
그러니까 that's amazing.
근데 like 어떻게 계산을 하시는 건지 모르겠어요.
It's very interesting that I'm also like I don't have that certain ability to calculate calculate others' age by like based on the animal belt. How do they memorize all of that? They won't be memorizing something. It would be just very natural for them to think in that way, maybe.
My assumption is, most of Koreans are very good at calculating stuff. 계산을 잘하잖아요.
Yeah,
so
just like
whenever
Asians are good at math.
So whenever I instantly go like, 뱀띠예요 라고 말하면, they would instantly come up with a guy or a person who is 뱀띠 and like, kind of calculate that compared to their own
add 12 or like minus 12 or something
30.
like that.
Yeah. I think that's my assumption.
That's a good assumption, I think.
Are you okay with? Okay, all right. So Michelle, what are we supposed to talk about for this week? Which book are we supposed to talk about?
We were supposed to talk about Taiwan Travelogue by Yang Sang-ju. Is that how the Taiwanese people pronounce?
It's Shuangzi.
Shuangzi.
So in Korean it will be Yang Shuangzi잖아요 in Korean, right? But it's actually Shuangzi.
Shuangzi, okay. But both of us kind of failed to finish the book before the recording.
We needed some time,
Yeah.
everyone. So please bear with us and
This
give us
is
some more time.
a spoiler for the next week's episode on Taiwan Travelogue, but actually Sewon and I both kind of
조심해요.
are not very much enjoying the book.
Well, I'm halfway through, so let me just see what's happening like in the second half of the story. Maybe I might like it, or well, like I want to put it like this way, like it's not something that I expected actually.
Me too, because I know that it is basically a like travelogue, but I've never expected the Taiwanese cuisines to come up this often. And there are so many, footnotes on the like Taiwanese cuisine. And frankly speaking, I always feel like a little bit like 귀찮아 when I have to look up on footnotes when I'm reading a book.
I understand.
So it even, makes much more delay on reading this book. And the other obstacle for reading this book was that there are a lot of depictions on Taiwanese cuisine, and it is very, specific. And I think it is my personal thing, but whenever any depictions of certain cuisine in the text form, it's really hard for me to imagine. 그러니까 상상이 안 돼요. So like whenever I get into the phase of serial of food depictions are like literally flooding in the story, I feel like I think this part is a little bit boring.
But I think still there are some points like meaningful points that we should like that are worth discussed. I was wondering if you have read Ian Forster's A Passage to India.
No, I haven't.
Ian Forster.
안 읽었어.
The reason I'm like bringing this up is because 양창즈 작가님. She tried to portray the main protagonist, like she presented this main protagonist as a Japanese person specifically, and that was intentional, right? That instantly made me do a connection with Ian Forster's A Passage to India, because obviously it's about a British person traveling to Asia, to India and stuff like that. So maybe it's a good it's going to be a comparison. Like I might or might not make a comparison to these two books, but then like what I'm trying to say is that there are things that worth discussing.
Yeah, of course.
So maybe we should just 그냥 skip all the footnotes and like 이런 음식이 있구나 and like skip and like maybe we should focus more on the relationships, like the relationship between the two protagonists, or like the situation that's happening, like the historical backgrounds, the setting and everything. 그런 것만 얘기해도 되지 않을까 싶어.
And personally, I've been always interested in the relationship between Taiwan and Japan. Because like they've gone through a imperialistic era, like in the early 90s, 1900s. So it's very interesting to see that certain period depicted in this story. And now I figured out that like I'm approaching to this book as if it is something like a academic thing.
저도 그렇게 읽고 있어요.
Yeah.
It's definitely not entertaining, to be honest. 그렇게 재밌진 않은.
Yeah.
And like, have you happened to read the very first page of the book? The author specifically mentions that, from this book, I wish everybody, realize or learn that Taiwan is nor like Japan nor it's nothing like Japan or China. Taiwan is Taiwan. So this is going to be another 잡담 episode. Just please give us some time to
we're gonna just
think on it
chat
and read
about
it and
random
finish
things because we haven't planned for anything for this episode.
We usually don't, right?
Do you have anything to share? Your like personal updates?
So like every Saturdays, like it I don't know, naturally, like at some point it becomes a thing that I try to walk 2만보. But I really don't like walking around my neighborhood. So what I do is that I do this like mini travel around Chungcheongdo. So one of the good things about living in Korea is that 그 지자체, they did a very good job in constructing these walking trails around those 지방 도시s, right? So last week I visited Yesan, I visited Yesan like a few times before as well, but then this time I visited Yedangho, and there was a good walking trail there, about
It's a
10
lake.
kilometers. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I walked there for about 2 to 3 hours, like in the early morning,
Uh-huh.
and I had lunch, and then I visited Sudoksa, which is one of the
Buddhist temple.
uh-huh. Sudoksa is actually very famous in Chungcheong area.
아, 그렇구나.
I visited there like it's my third time visiting Sudoksa. So yeah, I visited Sudoksa, and that's pretty much it. And I usually do like I usually edit our videos and
Podcast
stuff, so, like,
episodes.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. Nothing special. What about you?
Have you heard of or like seen the certain video of 불닭냉면?
Oh, I know what it is.
I had it on last Sunday. I'm not the one who cooked for it, but the recipe was quite simple. You just, boil the noodle of 불닭 볶음면 like for the longer time than usual. And after,
Because it's cold.
you wash the noodles in a cold water, and you just, pour 냉면 육수, 냉면 soup, and
청수냉면.
불닭 sauce together, and you put the cold noodle in there, and on top of that, most of the people put 육회,
That's the thing.
beef sashimi thing. It was very spicy, but it was still good and very 자극적.
Are you okay with spicy food?
I'm okay with basic 불닭볶음면, I think.
The original one.
But
그거는 할 수
like
있어.
something spicier than 불닭볶음면, it would be hard to handle.
So for example, 핵불닭볶음면. It's a
I've never
no-no.
even tried for that.
What I recently found out that
Uh-huh.
I've been doing this, diet, right? And since then, I have zero tolerance in 자극적인 음식 or anything spicy. So for example, I like a few days ago I craved maratang so much.
Uh-huh.
This is time for me to, it's okay for me to have one.
Yeah, of course.
할 수 있다. So I visited a place and I ordered maratang.
Uh-huh.
But then I just didn't have any confidence to order even 1단계도 못 먹겠는 거예요. Like for the first time in my life, I ordered maratang with 0단계.
So like,
Which is
it
백탕.
그 백탕?
Yeah, just 사골육수 and like the peanut sauce. And it was like 진짜, it was so surprising for me too, because I usually am not like the type of person who would 그런 거는 절대 안 하는
You would
사람이었는데.
go for 백탕?
Yeah, I ordered like 0단계, and I was eating it. I finished it, and I was very satisfied. But at the same time, like, it feels like I would never be able to go back to the previous me, because my tasting palette, like,
Yeah.
입맛 has changed drastically over the past few months. So 자극적인 거 못 먹을 것 같아.
That can happen. I used to, be losing my weight like 15 kilograms when I was a university student. And after the diet, I went to a 곱창 place with my friend. And I pretty much enjoy 곱창 or, 막창, things like that. But right after the diet, I was like, no, I was literally unable to swallow any piece of 곱창 because it felt like so oily. So I just, passed most of the 곱창s to my friend, and she was really happy about it. And I just ate like 염통 because it is the like less greasy thing on the table. But still,
Yeah.
I eat 곱창 and enjoy it at this point. So maybe you would be able to eat maratang again, like once you get to go to Taiwan or something.
But it turns out maratang isn't a thing in Taiwan. I asked
맞아,
my
맞아.
tutor about it, and she was like, "Oh, we usually eat mara hogo."
Yeah,
not maratang.
yeah. It was less spicy than I expected. The one that I ate in Taipei, it was less spicy. I really enjoyed the like food in Taiwan when I was traveling Taipei.
Which was your favorite?
I went to a certain place that has got Michelin star 받은 데를 갔는데, and this place was for 우육면, and that was my favorite. But still, like, I came back to Korea like on 11 o'clock in the night or something at the Incheon airport. Immediately after, arriving to my place, I ordered the maratang and ate it. Because I've been craving for spicy foods, even though I enjoyed the food in Taipei, because it felt like Taiwanese food was a little bit sweet for me. 단맛이 많이 나요. 그래서 that made me really, crave for spicy food.
Well, our work, because of what we do, like we usually go on a business trip like at least once in a year, right? Like it used to be a lot more than that. It used to be twice or three times a year sometimes. And whenever like our colleagues, come back from 출장, they always say like I crave, the first thing that I do is that I order or I, eat 김치찌개 after coming back from 출장. But then I'm not really the type of person who crave Korean food that much because did I tell you before, like I started eating kimchi in my 30s.
Oh, 진짜? That's surprising because like most of the Koreans love kimchi.
I have no problem surviving without kimchi.
And actually, same for me as well, because I don't really enjoy kimchi that much. Like compared to average Korean people level. I also kind of like don't crave for kimchi-jjigae or kimchi-based cuisine, I think.
Whenever I'm sick, like when I get sick, like the very first thing that I think of is 된장찌개.
That's a little bit like not very popular choice, I think.
Because like it feels like, whenever I have 된장찌개 and like 밥에 물 말아, like like it kind of warms me up.
Yeah, it does.
And I just love 두부 and like corn related things.
tofu.
You know how much I love 콩국, right?
Yeah. Whenever I'm sick, I crave for 백탕 마라탕.
아니 뭐 마라탕 왜 이렇게 좋아해?
근데 백탕, it feels like just like you said about 된장찌개. It feels like it warms me up.
So which one is your favorite ingredient in maratang?
푸주.
나도. I just love all like tofu related 재료.
Me too.
Ingredients, yeah.
푸주 and maybe 청경채, I think. Those two are my favorite.
I like lotus roots. 연근.
Me too. I mean,
And I love potatoes as well. Do you know what I miss the most when it comes to eating hogo in China?
what is
Like the real hogo in China? They one of the ingredients they have is bean sprout.
What is that? 그게 뭐야?
그러니까 약간 콩싹 같은 건데 그냥 새싹이에요. 콩싹인데 it's very tender and like it's very 여려. 청경채 could be a little 질겨, right? It could be a little bit, But then 그 콩싹 그거 먹으면 the bean sprout 먹으면 정말 맛있거든요. But then they don't have it in Korea, so like.
Yeah, maybe you can find it in 대림 or somewhere like 건대.
푸주 저도 좋아해요.
And this thing is not related to my weekend thing. Last Friday I had a dinner with a translator, with my 팀장님 and teammate. So like 4 of us had a dinner. And after the dinner and when I was going back home, I realized that it was my first time having a dinner while I'm speaking in English with in the circumstance of related to work.
진짜?
Yeah.
It's 잠깐만 너무 놀라운데. It's very surprising that but you never had you never had dinner with publishers before? Not
I never
Korean
did.
publishers. 정말?
I just had like my longest moment with the foreign publishers. It was at the cafes. So I just had to drink a cup of coffee with them.
So 고인물, I think this is quite 아쉬운데?
And I think it is a little bit related to, the COVID-19 thing. Because I heard that,
right.
After the COVID-19 era, our workplace doesn't do any 저녁 회식 anymore.
That's, I don't think that's necessarily because of COVID.
So, we don't do 저녁 회식, evening 회식, evening dinner with our colleagues. So, it feels quite natural that, we don't have also the chances to have a dinner with our clients, I think.
Now that I think of it, 그렇구나. 코로나 이후에.
And it was my first time having a dinner with a client and speaking in English. It was really surprising. And
did you enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it. And the translator was so sweet. And actually, she and I were, around this, we were kind of in the same age group. She was just, 1 year 언니 than me. So, I basically had kind of, I didn't talk much about work-wise things to her. I just talked about random things that would be called as girls talk.
Did you by any chance exchange Instagram accounts or something?
I didn't because
그렇게 하지.
But she was one of those types, very introverted person.
Oh, she is?
And I also wanted to kind of, very much 그걸 존중. I wanted to respect that aspect of her. Okay. So I just didn't approach
I've never met her in person.
She told me that she told me her MBTI type. It is INFJ.
한국 사람 같다.
And one of the other things that made me really kind of feel a little bit awkward was that I was basically speaking in English during that dinner, and my 팀장님 was sitting right
across
in front of me, and I usually call him 팀장님 when I'm speaking in Korean, and since I've been speaking in English, now I had to call him you, and he also.
Which is fine, right?
It is fine, but still, it felt like it is a little bit awkward because I've never called him in that way. Because
I even addressed him by his name actually when I when I had a chance to talk to him over dinner over a dinner table with publishers. Which is totally fine because 그게 영어인데 어떡해요.
And I was also kind of 고민 about that part as well. Because I don't think it's necessary. I was thinking about whether I should call him by his first name or Mr. with his last name, and I chose the latter.
Which is 뭐죠?
Mr.
Which
Park.
is the letter? 아니야.
근데 and
that makes him so old.
I mean, but at the moment I felt like, wow, I'm really Korean because have you I think you would know about this. Like, have you heard of 앞존법? You know, it is not technically some kind of situation that would, you know, directly related to 앞존법. But I was thinking about 앞존법 at that moment. And I was, you know, very much confused that whether I should be using polite words even in English to my 팀장님, or I was thinking about like which one was between the translator and my 팀장님. I was thinking about how I should 둘 중에 누굴 더 높여서 얘기해야 되지? I was thinking about that.
Does that even exist in English though?
I don't think so, but I was just, you know, thinking about 앞존법 in Korean grammar.
그렇구나. You know, I'm not reluctant to call any of them, any of our 팀장님s by their names. I used to call our previous 팀장님 by her name.
When you are speaking in English.
Yeah, when we're on a business trip.
Ah.
You know, hi, my name is Sewon, and like this is
But still,
Ding Ding.
it feels a little bit awkward. I mean, like, I can call you Sewon in front of our clients. I cannot call 팀장님 by name.
Oh, 그렇구나.
Like,
but
if
I think
he or she allows me to do that, I would happily do that. But like, I didn't get any permission for that at that moment.
But I don't understand. Like, does it even need a permission to, you know? There's no other way to, you know, introduce him, you know, 어떻게, or her,
I don't know.
other than, you know, maybe like I think people like this is what I get like a lot of times from other people whenever I like have to speak English in front of our 동료, like the colleagues or like people who I met at work. Like many of them tell me that my persona is so different from like me speaking Korean. So like, you know, I think that gives me a little bit of advantage when it comes to having meetings, because, you know, they just see me like, oh, this is not the Sewon that I used to know. Like 한국말 하는 세원이랑 너무 다르네. So like they just go like 하다가 you know it's like for example, oh, this is my boss Michelle, and like 그냥 하다가 안녕, hi, nice to meet you 이렇게 하고 그냥 시작하는 것 같아.
And you know what? I think that's the like main difference between you and me, because I personally feel like I'm not very much different in the regards of tone when I'm speaking in Korean and English both. So it was really hard to choose how to call my 팀장님.
But I still find you, like speaking you, Michelle, relatively more straightforward.
Yeah, but still, I don't know.
Well, Michelle, it's surprising to know that you 눈치 봐, even though you speak English. Okay. 근데 I don't think 안 그래도 될 것 같아요.
And other than 팀장님, and I also called one of my teammates that was at the dinner together. I also called him like 땡땡 주임님 in English as well.
Oh.
그러니까 I was just thinking that I should 높여 him in front of the client, because like I wanted to show that I respect him that much, maybe. 그러니까 존중받는 것처럼 보여야 된다고 생각했어요, 막내가.
이렇게 예의 바른 여성이었구나. 그랬구나.
It was fun though, really fun.
Oh, I wish we had more chances like that.
Yeah, I mean, like the translator, she also told us that like it's kind of rare opportunity to talk to us because usually we meet at our office, and it would seem like a little bit like maybe public or too much related to work. So people are being really polite to each other, and we just talk about like things related to our business. But still, like, it was really, surprising that I was like mostly talking about my personal things at the dinner. I don't know, maybe I'm like having some kind of things for like being a 광대, and I'm kind of happy for that. And I love that when I was talking about my personal stuff and people were laughing, I was kind of happy about it.
Yeah, I wish we had more get-togethers.
I think so as well.
But like I'm at the same time not sure if our 저연차s would like that, especially the dinner occasions and stuff, because still I still believe that in Korean culture, like having 회식 like in the evenings is a no thing, especially at our workplace. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Like
This,
I am more on the advocating side, and to be honest, like I think I am at the level or I am at the position where I could suggest that to our teammates. But then at the same time, I am hesitant to say that or proposing that because like I have a feeling that 저연차들 might not like it.
my
it's a very mixed
opinion
feeling.
is that this would be a little bit risky thing to say, but when I'm paid with 야근 수당, I'm just all okay with that.
Okay. But without 야근 수당, you wouldn't.
I
want to.
wouldn't be doing that because it is different from 회식 only among our colleagues. I wouldn't expect to paid for that because it is just communication among the colleagues. But when we are inviting our clients, I think it is more related to work things. So I feel like I should be paid.
Okay. Then like I want, this is another tangent. I want your honest opinion on having a 회식 amongst the teammates only, not with the clients. Like your really, really, really honest feeling.
I'm okay with it. 너무 자주만 안 하면. Like maybe once a month, that would be fine.
Once a month is 너무 자주 아니야?
자주 해요? 아니 근데
like dinner. We're talking about dinner.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that.
그렇구나.
But not in the way that usually Korean people do, like 부어라 마셔라. I really don't like it. But still, like I think our colleagues wouldn't be 부어라 마셔라. So it would be fine, I think.
For me, I don't.
안 하고 싶어요?
No,
You're not up to it.
Not at all. Because I am more on the side where any type of 회식, I'm talking about the official 회식, right? And I think it's inevitable to witness hierarchy.
아, 그치.
I'm not saying it's bad or good, but then it's just inevitable. 어쩔 수가 없어요. So like I've witnessed a lot of scenes where hierarchy just 짓눌러 like 저연차들, like not 짓눌러에서 너무 센 표현이고. It's just natural that 저연차 has to succumb to the situation.
I get it.
And like it's inevitable that 불편한 사람들이 생겨. Like I think still it's better to I think it's important to meet like people from all different levels. I think like I 진짜 그거는 해야 될 거. I'm very supportive. But then I think I know this is very 이상적이야, idealistic, but then at least what I'm dreaming of is that I don't want to be like, because this is like after work, right? And this is very unofficial thing, and like we're just doing a get together thing. So at that moment, I don't want to be presented as a 과장님. Like I don't want to be treated as a 과장님, or like like even the smallest things. For example, like because I'm a 과장님, like some 주임님 or 대리님 is putting 젓가락 and 숟가락 for me, and like 그 휴지 깔아, and like giving me like serving me water and stuff like that. Like every small thing for me is very 불편해. It's not just 저연차만 불편한 건 아니잖아요. Like relatively 고연차 is very difficult for some situations as well. So like unless like I am in a situation like unless I feel like I'm very comfortable and I'm confident with being myself regardless of levels, like unless like that 그렇지 않으면 저는 안 가고 싶어.
So I think I'm gonna change my opinion. If it is an official 회식, then I would be willing to attend like like once in 2 months maybe. It would be fine. 한 달에 한 번 좀 많다. 그런 거면.
No. Twice a year.
Twice a year, okay.
Oh.
But I think it is a little bit from my backgrounds, maybe. Because you know that my main major is Korean history.
Yeah.
And, we had a lot of, hierarchical 술자리 at the department with 교수님 or 조교님. And I think I became like a little bit comfortable with that atmosphere. So I just feel like I should do, 수전화 or, pour the class for my superior, something like that. 그러니까 그런 것들을 부자연스럽다고 생각을 안 해요, 제가 별로. 그래서 I think I can just,
Interesting. I just realized that I've never been in a situation where I have to do the Korean thing before I actually started working. 한 번도 해본 적이 없네.
But I mean, like, it was not very hierarchical in, like, to the level of, very Korean atmosphere, but still, like, my 조교님s were, like, jokingly, like, pouring the full glass of, like, full beer glass, like, all full of soju, and, like, she was, like, offering the glass to me and saying that if you don't drink this one in 한 번에 다 안 마시면 you would get F on your 전필 수업. And she was jokingly saying that. I was just, 조교님 그러지 마세요. And I was drinking the, like, half of that. And she was just, happily, saying that, you don't have to, like, drink it in a one sip. Like, maybe it would make you faint right at the moment. So, like, I think I'm quite used to that kind of atmosphere. 그러니까, 해봐야 알 것 같긴 한데.
Yeah. But, like, what I'm trying to get at is that, I think all that 꼰대짓 or like the hierarchical thing, like I think it all comes from like the collectivism that we have in Korean society, right?
Yeah.
But since we are like in the process of like going into that more of a individualistic or like respecting like individual characteristics way, 그런 개인 존중을 더 많이 하잖아요, 요새는. I think we're on the way, right?
Yeah.
But still in the process. And like sadly, like I am more on the person, like I am the person who thinks we wish we had more get-togethers or like 회식s, like whatever term that is, like I wish there are more gatherings like that, like amongst like colleagues. But then sadly, I am not the generation that has witnessed any of the positive side on the 회식. So that has naturally formed me into this person who is just not inclined to do any of the 회식s, sadly.
My theory is that, especially when 회식 is happening among colleagues at the office, I think usually the loneliest person or people bring the trouble, I think. 그러니까 외로우니까 말 실수하고 like because they are lonely, they say things that shouldn't be said or like do some kind of actions because they feel like they are like privileged to do that because just because because of the hierarchical situation of 회식. And when alcohol comes in, people become like they're more courageous and they feel like they are privileged and they can seek for
whatever they want to do.
Yeah, seek for what they've been trying to get.
And I think Korean people are not trained to do any of the small talks. Like they are not trained to do the small talks without offending anyone.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I like it's good to hear that you had a good time with her.
Yeah, I did. It was very pleasant.
Yeah.
like
어쩌다 여기까지 온 거야? 어쩌다 여기까지 왔을까?
그러니까 like I never expected our 잡담 episode would be related to our like how we work or like how do we act in our office. So we are gonna come back with Yang Swang's Taiwan Travelogue next week. And we are gonna call it a night because it's already like 11:35 or something.
Yeah.
So like let's call it a night and
Yeah. I'll
see you next
tomorrow.
week. Yeah, and see you tomorrow, Sewon.
Alright. 감사합니다.
감사. Bye bye.